In five, four,
Ooh, WWE
three,
2K17
two,
gameplay. Oh, nice.
one. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Lionheart Podcast. We'll be talking about SmackDown that just happened today. SmackDown was in my opinion, it was better than Raw. I think it was better than Raw because it didn't have it didn't have any, it didn't have as much crap as Raw did. Raw had like them two crappy matches. SmackDown was pretty decent compared to Raw, in my opinion. The only crap thing about the show was Eva Marie. Um, Dragon, you there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's proceed with the podcast. All right. So, starting the show off, we had Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton backstage, and they were pretty much talking about what happened on Raw yesterday when Randy Orton came in and RKO'd Brock Lesnar, and they told Randy, okay, you gotta face your punishment. It's gonna be some repercussions or whatever, but that was actually pretty awesome. And then Daniel was like, okay, they separated. I think they separated the security. It was one set of security for freaking to make sure Brock Lesnar doesn't come in, and the other security, I'm not sure, or maybe all of them just was together for Brock Lesnar or some shit like that. But anyway, to start the show off, the big start of the show was when Dean Ambrose came out and he called out Dolph Ziggler. Now, pretty much, he wanted the people to get to know Dolph Ziggler, in which we already know. And then, he pretty much, Dolph was like, Dean, we're very similar, and Dean was like, hell no, we not similar. And when he said that, I don't know if he was referring to them as to being resilient, but if he's referring to their gimmick and, in-ring ability, no,
Oh, hell no.
they're
Whoa.
opposites right there. But, if you want to talk about them being resilient and all of that, oh yeah, and, yeah. But, anyway, they had a back to back promo, man. They started off, started they did one of those started from the bottom type promos. Dean talked about how he worked his ass off from through a couple of years. I mean throughout the years to get to where he is now. You know. And Dolph, he went back to the time where he was a part of the Spirit Squad. It was like you did all of that. You remember, Dan? You started off from the Shield. You had people that had your back, but me, I was a dude. When I started off, I was a cheerleader, bro. And the crowd just started laughing after that, which was true. And they just went back and forth. And then Dean, he said it himself that he knows that they're gonna have a good ass match at SummerSlam. It's gonna be back and forth, and he knows that they're gonna steal the show hopefully. And then Ziggler got fired up. That man said he ready. He said he gonna burn Brooklyn down to the ground. And this man literally took Triple H's line. He was like, "I'm gonna win. I'm gonna become the champion because I'm that damn good." I said, "Wow." Like he got all fired up just like Triple H and literally just took the man line. Exactly. He took that man line. But Ziggler left. No, Dean left, and Ziggler just sat in the ring looking all furious and ready for his match or whatever. And the lights went out, and out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt was in the ring, and Sister Abigail out of nowhere. And then Bray, he was in the ring. He said that he was like, Ziggler, we gonna have a match tonight. You facing me, and if you lose, if you
Ziggler.
lose, if you lose, I'm
You're
taking your
gonna have
spot.
a match tonight. It's
Yep,
gonna be against me, Bray Wyatt.
yep. He
And
said,
scene.
if you lose this match tonight, Ziggler, not only are you a failure, but I'm taking your spot. And that was the main event of the show. But going on to the first show, we had a triple threat match for whoever wins this triple threat match moves on to SummerSlam to face The Miz for the IC Championship. It was Kalisto versus Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Now, first off, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The winner was Apollo Crews. This match was pretty obvious. This match was like a smart game right here. You got Baron Corbin as a heel. Of course, they're not gonna let Baron win. He's the heel. They're not gonna have heel versus heel at SummerSlam. Kalisto, it was possible for him to win, but I just didn't see it happening. But Apollo Crews, yes, I think he's the perfect competitor. To, not Ziggler, to face the Miz at SummerSlam, and I kind of knew he was gonna win. But this is what happened throughout the match. Um, yeah, yeah, oh, barely. He won this legit. He won this all the way. That man rolled up Kalisto in the pinfall, and freaking Corbin was out the ring. I was waiting on the barely part. I was waiting on the barely part, but well. While Corbin was out the ring, out of nowhere, Cruz went up for a roll up pin on Kalisto, and that was it. But then after the match, Corbin got pissed off. He started beating the shit out of Kalisto. He was just attacking him from behind, and Apollo saw everything. He ran in the ring. He tried to, he tried to help Kalisto out. As soon as Baron Corbin was beating up on Apollo Cruz, the Miz came in the ring. Hold up, let me see. He hit the Skull Crusher finale on somebody. Who the hell was it? He hit it. He hit it on Apollo Cruz and Dragon. That's kind of.
Barely. A potato. My last
But anyways, back into the podcast. All right, so we had Miz hit the Skull Crush finale on Apollo Crews, and after that, Baron Corbin walked up behind Miz like he was ready. That man looked up. That man looked at Miz. That man just hit that end of days out of nowhere, and that was it. Baron Corbin was the last man standing. They call him the Lone Wolf. And now you might want to use these sound effects for this next match. Eve Marie versus Becky Lynch. This was horrible. This shit was ridiculous. Man. Man, this match was so bad. It wasn't even a match. Like, straight up, like, the match started, and I kind of missed what happened, but Eve Marie, something happened to her leg, and she pretty much pretended like she was injured the whole time, and that was it. She just, the referee and the what's his name? The doctor, they was checking on her, and they just walked her out the arena, and she was limping or whatever. And this whole time, I don't know if she was trying to act like she was hurt really bad, but she had a big ass smile on her face. It seemed like she was smiling the whole time. It was terrible.
Man, I was just like, I was really disappointed. I was really disappointed. I ain't even gonna lie, I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah, that was horrible. But let's see. Okay, going backstage, we had okay, instead of them having backstage interviews with like wrestlers now, I don't know if they're doing this thing where they have the what is that thing called? They have in the pre-show the big old what is it, pod, a podium, whatever the shit is called. Renee Young, she was with Carmelo. They was on the SmackDown live table backstage, and as soon as Carmelo was getting interviewed, Natalia came up. She was like, "I thought you was interviewing me, Renee." And Carmelo was like, "You got a problem with?" Now Natalia, she didn't like how Carmelo was getting interviewed instead of her, and Natalia was like,
Man,
"The Queen
Carmelo,
of Hearts."
she was just like,
Bitch, if you want a burger, eat a burger.
you know.
Oh wow.
Then after that, she was just like,
Bitch, if you want a french fry, get a french fry.
pretty much just sitting her in line. All right, but pretty much, guys, they had a whole, back scene thing. Carmelo, she was in the middle of getting interviewed. Like Hason said, Natalia came up. Natalia interrupted the whole thing, and Carmelo was just like, I don't know what your problem is, but if you do have a problem, we can deal with it later on in the ring. So, it got announced that later on they were gonna have a match, but after this, after this little interview, after this thing, with their Carmelo and Natalia's match later on in the night, we had the debut of two great NXT tag team. We all know them, American Alpha.
American Alpha versus
And,
Evolved Villains.
Yeah, by the way, guys, before I get into this tag team match, quick announcement: SmackDown is getting their own women's title, and they're getting their own tag team titles. That's
Yeah, I
kinda
heard
cool,
that Daniel
don't you
Bryan
think?
confirmed that they're gonna have their own tag team championships and their own woman championship. So that's gonna be good.
Yep, so this is gonna be like two
Hopefully it's true.
different, basically like two different. Yep.
Yep.
So this was a good match between the Vibe Villains and American Alpha, but of course the American Alpha,
That was dominating.
Team Angle, Team Angle.
Yep, team.
They had to beat the Job Villains. The Job Villains got job
Them
once
job
again.
villains. Yep.
Yep. Their debut, of course, they had to win that debut match, and American Alpha, they pulled up the dub. They got that win.
Yep, Jason Jordan, that man is a beast. He was dominating that match. That man was just he was making the face, sticking his tongue out. That man was killing. But they dominated that match to hit they finish. It's like a he threw him up in the air and he catch him in the backdrop kind of. That's what it's like. throws him up
Uh,
and turns to yeah. Don't know. They need to come up with a name for that move. I don't know if they have a name for it yet, but it's a pretty good move.
uh,
But
but pretty, yeah, that's how that ended. Really, that ended that really quick. But look, after that, it got announced that AJ Styles had something for John Cena. He had a message to send to John Cena, and this right here, so I gotta admit, this was actually a pretty good promo.
hmm
This wasn't bad. This was actually really decent.
went deep just like the first promo of the show.
Yeah. Look, all right, so AJ Styles, his music hit came out. Ain't no sunshine. I mean, they don't want. That hit. AJ Styles came out, and of course, man. And look, Alex, I'm gonna let you talk about this promo. But man, this shocked me because when AJ Styles came out, not one cheer. That man got booed. The crowd started chanting "Soccer Mom." AJ Styles didn't even get to talk that long. AJ he just came out and said, "Now I want to send a message to John Dunn." And man, this man got cheered. I don't know if it was because he hosted the Kids Choice Awards or whatever he did, but whatever that man did, it got him some cheers tonight. That man got some cheers. But hey, so I'm gonna let you talk about how this happened and what it went on.
All right, well,
So, man.
that man dished Nash. He did. I said dish. He dissed Nashville, Tennessee. He said they got the weakest minds, and here's the thing. He was pretty much lashing out on the kids and the parents, the Cena fans. Pretty much, it was like, man, yeah, you guys wear John Cena's gear all the time. You guys pretty much worship this man. I'm just breaking out what he said. You guys pretty much worship this man, but the only reason why y'all do this, the only cause of that problem is y'all parents. Y'all parents the reason why y'all believe y'all can get things easily. Like you think if you participate in a sport, you get a trophy. If you do something, you get a reward. But the thing is,
You gotta
I've been here
win.
for a long. I've been wrestling. I've been doing this for a long time. I beat John Cena. I didn't participate. I beat him. I should be getting a trophy. I need a trophy. And
Yeah, that
AJ
man said. He said winners. He said
winning.
He said participants don't make it in life. Winners do. That's what he said. That man had kids crying. That man had kids upset. Kids upset. I saw some couple of kids in the crowd. They look kind of upset.
The parents they were looking like, whoa. I saw
Yeah,
one
he going
parent.
too
He
far.
was holding his son. He was looking like, come on, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when Cena responded, oh man, this man started preaching or something. This man was like, oh, I do this for the kids. I do this because I love this company. Yeah, I was on the ESPYS. I hosted the ESPYS. I was at the Teen Choice Awards. But at the end of the day, I might be doing other stuff.
Enough
At the end of the
is
day, my main
enough.
home is WWE. He started preaching pretty much. He's done this numerous
That man
times.
said, "I said, AJ, enough is enough."
Yep, cutting that begin. I say enough. Preaching or whatever. But
Holy shit!
and then AJ was like, AJ, he wanted that Cena. He wanted Cena to get fired up, and that's what he got Cena. And Cena was like, I'm gonna have to teach your ass a lesson. He literally said, I'm gonna have to teach your ass a lesson. And AJ
Yeah,
he
that
started clapping for him
man.
after that little preach he did. After that little preaching he did, he was clapping. Then the crowd started clapping with AJ, and AJ was like, that's what I like. That's what I like to see, Cena. And he was like, pretty much, you can challenge me
That man
since you
told.
fired up.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, see, not only did Cena shut AJ up, that man also shut his critics up tonight. That man
Oh
shut
yeah.
his critics up. Okay, AJ asked him. He said, "Cena, why are you still here?
Oh
Why are
yeah,
you
that
still
too.
here?" This was Cena's response. Cena said, "I'm here because of love." He said, when a lot of people hear me say, when like men say love, they think of weak people. And Cena said, "You know what? I don't care, man. I'm a grown ass man." That man, he said that man, he went in, he went on
Yep, and
everybody.
he said
That
AJ's just
man
there
went
to
in.
AJ. He said you're
Yeah,
here just to be a great wrestler. I'm not just here because of that. And as soon as things start falling down for you and all, you probably just gonna go somewhere else. And and the crowd was
yep,
like, ooh. I said, damn.
yep.
And then AJ challenged Cena later on, and then Cena accepted his challenge, and after that, that's when he said, I got to teach your ass a lesson, and that was it.
Yep. So I mean, this was kind of obvious we were gonna have at SummerSlam AJ and Cena.
hmm
I'm not shocked. I mean, I wasn't shocked about the match. Like, oh my gosh, we're getting to see. I already knew it was gonna happen, but the build up to this match better equal this match's quality. Like seriously, Cause like this match better not suck, but the build up was great, and the build up better not suck, and the match was great.
Yep.
Everything should. I hope it's gonna be level. So yeah, but after that, week next, I would love to talk about Randy Orton versus Fandango. As we all know, yesterday on Raw, Randy Orton, well, Paul Heyman, of course, said over and over again, just to backtrack you guys, Brock Lesnar returned to Raw. And they were talking smack about Orton, how he was a third generation superstar, and how he was giving everything, and Brock Lesnar had to earn this and earn that and earn that. And basically yesterday, Paul Heyman was saying that Randy Orton will never touch Brock Lesnar with an RKO. And let's just say tonight, it's really capable for the Beast to infiltrate SmackDown. Of course, yesterday, as we all know, that Randy Orton infiltrated Raw. Well, tonight, Brock Lesnar got some revenge, which this was pretty predictable. Brock Lesnar infiltrated SmackDown. Point Ace on, of course, yeah, like I said, it was predictable, but Ace on actually predicted this yesterday in the podcast. If you guys watched that, he actually predicted that this will happen. And I mean, Brock Lesnar came out. Orton hit an F5 on Fandango because if you guys don't remember, back at the Battleground pay-per-view when Orton first returned, Chris Jericho asked Orton, he said, Orton, why would you accept this match with Brock Lesnar? And Orton said, well, I can't come back and face a guy like Fandango.
And that's funny because it's so funny that he actually faced Fandango. That wink might have gave the crowd people a hint, or he might have winked just to not show Fandango that he wasn't dissing them or whatever. But.
Like tonight, that's why they had that match. They had that match because Fandango wanted revenge on Orton for what he said about him. Randy was trying to keep his eyes on both people. Like Brock was outside the ring, Fandango was inside the ring. Fandango ran at Orton, a quick RKO in no time. As soon as Orton got up, F5, referee calls the bell, the security, Shane McMahon comes out, Daniel Bryan, everybody. Man,
Yep.
like you got the crowd chanting Suplex City. We go to commercial break. We come back from a commercial break. Lesnar is being taken out the arena with Paul Heyman to their black SUV. I mean, the crowd is still chanting Suplex City, and it's just insane. And this is the jacked up part about it. Orton was in no mood to talk about after this F5. Like, okay, Orton came out the trainer's office. He was looking fine. He was looking great. Looked like nothing was wrong with him. He came out the training room, and I don't know who this was, but this woman walked up to him with the interview, and she was just like, Orton, how do you feel knowing that you just took this F5 from Brock Lesnar? And Orton looked at her like,
He just
bruh.
drank this water. He was like, bruh, and just kept going.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing.
Yeah. That man is.
I think he was gonna
word.
RKO her out of nowhere. He thought about doing that maybe.
Yeah. Like, cause man, I think that in order for Randy to beat Lesnar, I think we're gonna have to go back to seeing that 2010 Viper, that ruthless, doing anything. The Viper that RKO Stephanie McMahon.
Oh yeah.
The Viper that was about the big knee, punt Stephanie McMahon's head off. The Viper that punted Mr. McMahon's head off. We're going to need to see a ruthless, dangerous Viper. And I think that at SummerSlam, we're going to get a ruthless Viper.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I think that match. Hopefully that match be good. That's all I gotta say. Hopefully it be good. I can't really predict too much about that match, but I hope it be good. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
But moving on, we had Natalya versus Carmella. Now this match started.
Hey, but before we get to that, let's talk about what's going to happen next week on SmackDown. Heath Slater appears in Daniel Bryan's office.
Oh yeah, that's right. That did happen to that.
And Heath Slater came into Daniel Bryan's office, and he was just like, he looked up at the summer poster, and no, I'm not trying to cut you off. By
Oh no, you good.
Just trying to but Heath Slater looks up at the SummerSlam poster, and he's just.
I should be on that poster.
Yeah, I should be on that poster. I would look nice. I would look nice on this. Then he turns to Daniel. Daniel's just like, "Why are you in my office? How'd you even get in here?" He said, "Where's security?" He said, and Daniel was just like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Security's trying to deal with the Beast right now." So Heath Slater was just like, "I'm the hottest free agent here, Daniel. You just gotta give me an opportunity. Brian was just like, "You gotta earn your opportunity, Slater." And so he said, "How about this? Next week on SmackDown, you're gonna have a match." He said, "Guess who your opponent's gonna be?" And he was just like, I forgot who he named. He named
Oh no.
Slater named.
Well, he said that guy that fake guy Jericho mentioned on Monday. I forgot what his name was.
I forgot what his name was too. But like okay, so out of nowhere, he was just like Dan Brown was just like, okay, Slater, your opponent's gonna be
And you
Gore.
heard, and as soon as he started got speech, he said, "Ugh," like that's all you heard. Is your opponent's gonna be, "Ugh," and next thing you know, Rhino was up. and
Rhino was
that
there,
pretty
and
much showed
then
you that.
Dan Brown was just like Rhino. Then he got back on his phone. And he was just like, "Can somebody call a paramedic to my office, please? A medic. I think we're gonna need one." But
Yep.
yeah,
So that pretty much tells you that Heath Slater is facing Rhino next week on SmackDown, and if Heath Slater loses, then he doesn't get his contract, and if he wins, he get his contract for SmackDown.
Then after that, we had this little thing with the champion and his girlfriend Renee and Dean Ambrose. She pretty much talked to Dean Ambrose about how he feels, facing Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam,
Yep.
or whoever Dean Ambrose was gonna face. And Dean Ambrose was just like, "Let me tell you something, Renee. I just don't care. I'll see you at home, honey. Make sure you stay freshened up." Then he just walked out there with the title and disappeared in the dark.
Yep. He said he ain't like that head, so he just took it off. And Renee was trying to pick it. She was trying to pick it up or whatever.
Yep.
But all right, now the next match was Natalya versus Carmella. Now this match really wasn't a match. It wasn't a match, to be honest. Carmella was coming out in her entrance. She was on the mic doing what she do best, but Natalya came out and attacked her, and she pretty much put her in a sharpshooter, and she was tapping out, and referee tried to break it up and all, and Natalya just walked off, and they call her the Queen of Hearts now. Now that she's a heel, they actually call her the Queen of Hearts. Now she's always been the Queen of Hearts, but they're starting to use that name more now that she's a heel, the Queen of Hearts and stuff. But yep, that was it. That wasn't the match, and that all started because of what happened earlier. When Carmella was getting interviewed by Renee Young, and we mentioned that early on in the show. So, but moving on to the
They were
main
gonna have a
event,
match.
Ziggler versus Bray
Alright,
Wyatt.
so,
Wait,
this
before
main
before that happened, Ziggler was backstage warming up when Daniel Bryan and Shane walked in. They reminded him that he's potentially giving up his title shot, and Ziggler, he said he has a screw. He's pretty much has a screw you for the ones walking off and all. For them walking off.
oh, what you say? I had to take my headset off.
No, Ziggler said he did this. I didn't see this part, but in the website it says he has a screw you for them before walking off. I guess he was telling people. He was pretty much saying screw before you walk off on me. Screw you, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's what he was doing because I didn't see that part. But moving on to the main event, I'll let Dragon talk about it.
Well, man, Bray Wyatt versus Dolph Ziggler. This match was actually really good. For a second, I was thinking, well, maybe they could be setting up for a story mode of where the chances to face Dean Ambrose gonna get passed on from person to person, from week to week to week, and then it hit me that they had already had this stuff printed up. They have Dolph Ziggler versus Dean Ambrose printed up all over the place, posters everywhere. So you're not gonna put up all those posters, all that stuff, just for Dolph Ziggler to lose that opportunity like that. So I was just like, no, Ziggler's gonna win this match. Of course, after a great match, Ziggler did win this match. At one point, Bray Wyatt hit that bearded rock bottom. I forgot what it's called. It's like
Ziggler sold that. That man sold that.
Yeah, that man sold it.
That was hard.
Ziggler,
That was
he
pretty.
flipped all around. That was it. And that I really thought the referee hit 3. I don't know if it was a botch or what, but
Oh yeah, I
referee
thought he
said
hit 3.
1, 2.
And I think
3.
at some point in this match,
I was like,
like before they went to commercial break, Bray Wyatt was hitting his hand on the mat. Like he kept like constantly banging his head on the mat. I think he might have possibly re-injured himself. It looked like he re-injured himself. I didn't catch the part where he might have hurt himself. I just saw him banging his head on the mat, and I looked on Twitter. Some people were saying he might have injured himself again or something like that.
Yeah, but like when we came back
Frustration,
from the
pretty
commercial
much.
break, he was hitting a suplex. Like he was, he had a superplex off the top rope.
Yeah.
Like nothing never happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was. I for a second I got worried.
He
I
might
was
have just
like,
took a
"Damn,
hard
this man
bump or
is hurt again."
something. That's it.
Yeah. But pretty much this whole night ended. Bray Wyatt was trying to take off the turnbuckle pad. Referee stopped him. I think Dolph Ziggler finished taking off the turnbuckle pad,
Yep.
threw it down, and Like Bray Wyatt, like Dolph Ziggler was in the corner. Like Bray Wyatt hit Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler got in the corner. Wyatt had ran. Wyatt had ran at Ziggler.
And ring post.
Ziggler moved, right into that open metal rod. Bray Wyatt hit the metal. Sweet chin music or sweet chin Ziggler, and 1, 2, 3. His new, that new super kick, that finisher.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, yeah, that was it. Ziggler retained his opportunity, and after that, this kind of shocked me because I was like, this kind of ruined the night. I think they really should have ended the night with Ziggler. Really do think they should have ended the night with Ziggler and Dean Ambrose just having a face-to-face stare down, but instead they had Eric Rowan come out and Eric Rowan attacked Ziggler, and then Dean Ambrose was just like, "Oh hell no, that ain't gonna happen on my show." He jumped in the ring with the double team, and then Bray Wyatt took care of him, and pretty much Sister Abigail is on Ziggler. Dean Ambrose was already out, and SmackDown goes off the air with Roman. Not Roman. Well, they're
Rowan.
both boring, but not Roman. Rowan and Wyatt, on top of Ziggler, and the fans booed.
Yep.
Like
So
the
that
fans booed
yeah,
going off the
that
air.
pretty much tells you that next week on SmackDown, in the main event, we most likely gonna see Dean and Ziggler team up against Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan, most likely.
Yep. Yeah, pretty predictable. Pretty predictable.
Yep. So what you rate this show, Dragon?
Mm. Well, I give it an 8 out of 10.
I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was like what really killed it was the Eva Marie match.
That was horrible.
That was kind of bad. And then on top of that, later on when we were supposed to have another Divas match, it also never happened when Natalia is breaking out. So we really, not Diva, we really didn't have any women's matches tonight.
Yeah, the women's
It
matches.
kind
Yeah,
of threw it off the
they
show.
pretty much threw that off the show completely. The woman
Yeah,
didn't get a
and
chance to
then
have a match.
yeah, and then to top it all off, the ending of SmackDown was kind of it wasn't all that. I really do think they should have kept the Eric Rowan and Wyatt thing, a surprise until next week or something, instead of them ending it with Eric Rowan and Wyatt. It wasn't that good. So yeah, ASON 7.5 and me 8 out of 10.
Yep.
But ASON. Bada bing, bada boom. He's the finest guys in the room. Me and ASON. So ASON, let me ask you something, bro. How you doing?
Think of Eve Marie's wrestling career. That's how I'm doing.